Alright everyone, Soul Server 17 here, heading on this picture, not paid video. Okay, so here's the thing. Everyone asked for it, well, a lot of people have been, well, one person asked when I'm going to make Carnage deku, so here it is. Alright, I'm just also going to make you a quick thing. I am doing a prototype, what if, I'm thinking about it, but here's the thing. Someone did it with Asta, so I don't know if anyone made a prototype, like, what if Naruto had prototype abilities? You know the game. I just can't remember. I just cannot remember the character's name. Basically, the prototype is where you can take in any biomass and change your body into any type of weapons, plus then there are creatures that you kill and, well, absorb more biomass and create stuff with it too and such. And I'm thinking about doing it with Naruto. Straight up, just gonna say this: Danzo Orochimaru's idea, and as soon as they try to take out the Nine Tails chakra. Well, that's what it seems like at first, but then it's like Orochimaru injects the chakra with another type of chakra, the Nine Tails, but then it mutates it into something else, and this goes throughout the whole entire Naruto's cells, changing him to the point where then his eyes are permanently red, and his hair color changes. I want to make it where because of this it changes, and then when they think now, oh, he's gonna be the ultimate weapon where he can listen to me, and and Danzo, then it latches out to them, takes them, and he absorbs them into his body, taking all the memories, the jutsus, the power, and basically the snakes will know about it for Orochimaru. And so when Naruto's alone, they'll reverse summon him and be like, "You're not Orochimaru. What happened to him?" And he'll just say, "They did something to me, and something happened to the point where my body just lashed out of them, and some type of black red substance latched onto them, and then I ate them. I don't know how. It's like my body absorbed them, and it became biomass. That's kind of the intelligence of both Orochimaru and Danzo, so I know what biomass means. So yeah, I think I also have your summon." And then he will reveal his arm and goes, "I got your summon." So, you guys cool with that? As soon as they see that he's since that he's the alpha, the leader of this, Snakes will be like, "Yeah, we're good." And then I give Naruto freaking three other summons: the Toads with Jiraiya, but then the two others are gonna be a Chinese looking dragon and a Hydra, or maybe just the Final Fantasy looking creature, Final Fantasy 15. I forgot the name of it, but Infert, is that how you pronounce the name? I don't know, but yeah, just want to let you guys know that I will make the thumbnail for it before I post this, so you'll see that first, and yeah, here we go. So, this is what if Deku had got Carnage, part 6. Alright, so, as, Deku is waking up, he sees Eri. Eri's, sleeping, and, he's just thinking, I wonder if I should adopt her. And, Carnage comes out and says, "Kid, I don't think you're okay to adopt a little kid." And he's like, "Come on, I'm not that." And then he thinks that he was like, "I am bad. I'll be a horrible father." As he knows Eri is holding onto his arm, saying, "Don't leave." She woke up and she sees Carnage, and Carnage was like, "Hi kid, I'm Carnage. It's nice to meet you." And she goes, weird liquid monster thing, falls back to sleep. As he goes, "Whew, she's just barely awake." And he goes, "Go back in. Just go back and take a nap. It's like, alright. So yeah. So Momo comes into the room after Carnage, goes back to Deku's body. She says, "Aw, look at you two." And he was like, I'm thinking about adopting her. Carnage said that would be a bad idea, and he's right. She asks, "What do you mean?" He just says, "I'm technically broken on the inside, my mind, and I'm slowly gaining my sanity back and being, whole." So who knows? As Momo, does go over and sit next to him. Because Deku had his own room because Very would not leave him. So, they gave him his own room and everything. So, yeah. I mean, she goes over on the bed, sits right next to him, hugs him, saying, "You'll be a good father. I know it." He blushes at this, and Karn just thinks says in his head, like, "Okay, correction. She believes you, then you are." And he goes, "Wow, you just have to hear it from Momo." He was like, "I'm just trying to think. I'm just was telling you what you said to yourself in your head. So, yeah, it's really, you were talking to yourself at that point, man." He's like, "Carnage." And Mom was like, "What's so funny?" He's like, he was just saying what I was really thinking. If I really was going to be a good father, and then, then somewhere deep down inside, I said, "No, I'm not." So he just said what I was thinking. And she goes, "No, you will be a good father. Now, we are going to have breakfast. Come on." So he picks up Eri, carries her to the area where breakfast is, and you're saying, "Oh, what happened to the villains attacking?" That's happened in this episode, this part, but it's going to happen at night again. It's just like, something else. So yeah, so let's just say everything goes similar with the training, both Eri, after, well, basically that's what's going to happen. So anyways, at breakfast, Eri wakes up though. She goes, "It's morning already?" He goes, "Yep, Eri, it is." She goes, "Papa, can I have bacon?" And Zuko stops in place and Momo looks at him. And he goes, "Wait, what did you just call me? Papa?" He's like, I'm. And Zuko Carnage comes out and goes like, and he goes, "Wait, you're calling him Papa?" And she goes, "Mm-hmm. And you're Mr. Liquid Monster." And she just says, "I'm Eri." And Carnage just feels really uncomfortable for some reason. He goes like, he's thinking to himself, he goes like, "Wait, kid not afraid. What the freak? I'm a terrifying creature. I'm a mass killer machine. Why is she not afraid? Why? Why?" And then he remembers, oh, yeah, she's been through worse. And then he goes, "Yeah, I'm a friend. Your dad, my partner here, and we'll protect you." She goes, "I know you will. You're nice." He goes, "I'm not nice. I'm not nice. But she's so adorable. I can't kill her." And Deku looks at him and goes like, "What you?" And, he says, he just looks at me and he can't hear himself. He goes, "What do you mean kill her?" He goes like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a freaking murderer in the past. It's old instincts coming back, kid. You can't blame me." And he was like, "I can and I will. Just don't hurt my child." And he goes, and then Zuko was like, "Wait, what did I say?" He said, "Don't hurt my child. You fulfill as a father role. Good for you now. Now I am going through a crisis of trying to think, who the frick should I hurt, kill because of who tortured her? I want them dead now." And Deku says, "Me too." As Eri goes, "Why are you talking to each other from your mind?" And, well, they just said yes. Momo says, "Zuko? Would that make me the mommy?" As Eri goes, "Wait, huh?" I said, "Eri, this is my girlfriend Momo. I remember them, dating. Or at least, so yeah." So, basically she goes, "Oh, then she's a mommy." So Eri wants her to hold her now. And, Izuku already knows about her quirk, that she has no control. So he just say, "Oh, Eri, I have a thing that can help you with, your quirk. Just to let you know, my suit allowed me to see your memories when it attached to you. So your quirk going out of control won't happen if this goes around you." As, a tendril just comes out and wraps around her, not her neck, but it wraps around her arm, and it just looks like a little bracelet. She goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, it's gonna prevent you from using a quirk." Well, I mean, at least have me help you not use it. As he's basically explains how it's gonna. This bracelet will technically have these little things go inside your body, and then it's going to allow me to keep in contact and know wherever you are, so I sense where you are, and then I basically can make sure your quirk is not used. All right? She goes, mm-hmm. Thank you, Papa. And Mama was just holding her. She was like, she is so precious. We are so adopting her. And he goes, oh my God, no. I think Mr. Aizawa is gonna take her from us. As Momo says, no, he's not. We're adopting her. He's like, all right, fine. What are we gonna call her, Midoriya or Yarozu? She says, I'll take your name, so Midoriya. And he goes, okay. And yeah, this is like at a table. I mean, this is like they're walking, talking about this, and everyone's like completely shocked about it. Kodo's like, wait, what? Huh? What's going on? And Aizawa was going like, problem child. I know you and you and Momo were dating, but you two are too young to have a kid. And Deku says, I'm the freaking beast of and I'm probably the most strongest person here in this freaking classroom that could probably wipe the floor with everyone here if I ever want to. I can go invisible, I can come out of nowhere, and plus I can actually use my freaking abilities to copy everyone else's abilities and change them to my way. So yeah, let's not talk about that. As Aizawa goes, good point. Carry on. And he just thinks, wait, that works. He goes, yes, it's to cancel out her quirk, so that way, if she's afraid to activate it, it will cancel it out at least. He goes, I forgot about that. You to take my quirk, and now you have that. He goes, exactly. This is why I'm pretty smart. So, yeah, hold on one. So yeah, anyways, as Eri, Momo, and Izuku are eating breakfast, Bakugo just be like, so nerd, I heard you're taking in the little kid. Is this true? He was like, yep. Yet though you're completely insane. It's like, I know. And Eri goes, Papa's not insane. He's the best. She is, just acting this way because she's around Deku. So, because of that camouflage thing, she knows that there's someone that can actually maybe able to beat Overhaul. So, yeah. Anyways, Baku's like, yeah, he's not better than me. I'm gonna be the number one hero, as then Izuku just says, here we go. As Eri just, just says, no, him. And she points to Deku. As he goes, why does she love you so much? And he goes, I don't know, I'm not good with kids. As Kodo does say, that is true. As he comes over to the table. And he goes, you were right about me. I should have not blamed heroes for my parents' death. Thank you. And Deku just says, alright, so what are you gonna do, train? He goes, mm-hmm. And then one day when I find the guy who did kill my parents, I'm gonna bring him to justice. He goes, not before I end his life, kid. I did say I was gonna end his life. And then Eri goes, are you gonna end Overhaul? She only remembers his name as Overhaul. As he goes, he pats her on the head. He goes like, for what he did to you, I'm gonna make sure he dies. As Eri just goes, yay. Doesn't smile though. And he goes, you really forgot how to smile. She goes, so did I until I met, Momo. As he points to her. As he does smile when looking at her, she blushes. She goes, that's why she's like, gonna be a good mommy. And then Koda's like, wait, are you adopting her? He goes, yes, we are. Wait, don't we have to get engaged then too? She goes, yes. He was like, okay, well, this is gonna be fun telling my mom. Same to my parents. So next thing you know, Deku and Deku and Momo text their parents about this. They take a picture of Eri, and Deku tells his mom what happened to Eri, and so does Momo, at least. And they're like, "What, kid? This precious girl was experimented on because of her quirk, blood cancel out quirk, and now you guys are wanting to adopt her, but because the legal system you're going to, you know." I mean, they do say you don't have to be together. I mean, marriage or engaged just so you can adopt this girl. That's what, Momo's parents text on. So does Inko. As they both go, "Oh, really? Huh. Oh, well." That's what, Carnage, mocks Momo. As then Momo goes, "Fine, whatever, Mom, Dad." As then, when her father saw that text, he was like, "Momo never talked like this. What has that boy done to her?" And Momo's mom just go, "Dear, let me talk to her." And Momo's mom just saying, "You can still get engaged if you want to him." And she says, "Thanks, Mom." And he goes, "Why are you doing this to me? That boy is a real insane monster. We're not gonna have it in the family." She goes, "If Mom was happy with him." Also, did you see that precious little kid? That her name's Eri. She's so adorable. Her having, as a daughter for them and a grandchild, I would love. As Zuku's mom Inko just says, "Well, I mean, Momo does make you happy, and I wouldn't mind having a granddaughter. Well, not, I mean, I'm talking about adopted one, not, you're too young to have an actual kid yet, but adopted one because of a man and your quirk, or should I say, you and Carnage abilities can probably help out her." So, I'm kind of, on the fence about this. As, Zuko says, understandable. And then basically but she says, "I'll say okay to this. On one condition." He goes, "What's that, Mom?" "You have to live nearby." He goes, "Seriously, I just have to live nearby?" She goes, "Mm-hmm, because I want to see my granddaughter then." Done. And, he looks at Momo just saying, "Okay, my mom said there's only one condition if we get engaged." She goes, "Yeah, what?" "We just have to live close by to my mom." He goes, "Oh, that's a piece of cake. My mom's okay with it. When do we want to, get married? After high school? I mean, there's gonna be college too." She goes, "Yeah, but, it's because of whoever's after Eri. We have to be there always. And plus, I'd rather have us be in the same house because my dad always bugs me about you. And I'm getting annoyed with it, truthfully." As he goes, "Wow." And everyone in the class has been hearing about this. Even 1B, the Wild Wild Pussycats. Bakugo's just staring at both of them like, "Do you think this is moving way too fast?" And he goes like, "Well, we planned this we won't get married right away. It's been maybe like how many years? 5, 4? Just, to plan everything properly." I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect wedding. You know that, Momo? She goes, "I know. And plus, with you probably don't want a big giant wedding. So, I mean, maybe 6 years? Just to know if we actually really do. Plus, I think we'd be better off if we do have that. We have a long period of time, just in case then. We want to, bring it down or keep it longer because of whatever happens." "Yeah, true. But we just have to then find a place nearby my mom's house." And, so they said, "We'll talk about this later." They both said, "Well, let's talk about this later after everything's done." And Eri just saying, "So we have a place to live together?" And Deku Momo says yes. Eri's happy, actually smiles then for this. And so that whole entire train thing happens. And Deku, does say, Alright, Carnage, do you think, Eri can use that part of the symbiote to, make her own suit and have the quirk, have it alter her quirk a little bit? And, Carnage says, of course, just, tell her to focus on it. As, Deku tells Eri to focus on the bracelet and try to spread it out for her whole entire body. She does, and it's like a miniature version of Carnage. And everyone's like kind of freaked out by this. And then he goes, "Okay, just keep it on for 5 minutes, all right?" She nods, and 5 minutes later, he says, "All right, that's enough. Focus on taking it off. Just think about taking it off, basically." And she does, and he goes back to the bracelet. As she goes, "My quirk, it's weird. I feel like it's like I have control." It was thanks, Carnage. And, Carnage come out and says, "Of course, you really think I was gonna leave this little munchkin?" And he basically makes a little tendril go and pats her on the head, and she smiles at this, you know, with with basically a suffering. No. Also, I do not have the ability to copy her quirk. I made sure I would never do that. Because if we had that ability, that would be terrifying to most people. As, Deku says, true. So, yeah. So, after all that, Momo, comes over and she sees Eri rewinding a tree, basically back just to being their little sprout. As, she's able to then... She's been able to do this with, like, every 5 minutes, like, to, like, have, like, certain things happen. So it rewinds them, As her horns getting smaller and such, and she goes, "What's happening? The power's weakening." As Degus goes, "It's all about your horn. The bigger the horn is, the more power you have in it. It's like a stock up ability. Alright?" She goes, "Oh, so, is it like when you have pressure in a bottle, and when you release the cap, the water pops out of the bottle, but goes very high, and it's a stream for a while?" As Deku goes, "Yeah, it's like that. But it's more condensed down to your horn, and when you use power, it's all about how much you use it." So, it's that little stub as it's in canon now, and she's basically saying, "Thank you, Papa, for helping me." And he just says, "No problem, kiddo." And, when Deku pats, Eri, Mama took a picture, sent it to her parents, and she even sent it to Inko. And when her mom basically got the picture, her father, Inko, they all looked at it. It was like, they just could not help but say, "Aw." But her father was like, "No, no, I cannot let my precious daughter leave." But still, that's so cute. Fine. I mean, I gotta admit, this is adorable. So yeah, if you guys wondering why I'm doing it like this, because it's gonna be like, Izuku can't live with his mom forever, and plus it's gonna be more, I think, a lot more funny moments now. I'm gonna be doing this a lot more like a lot more comedy effect. But yeah, but anyways, so after everything's done that night, let's just say this. The whole time, Kodo goes up to the mountain, Ares with him, and the whole entire attack does happen. But the only key difference is, Muscular comes out, he sees Koda and Aerie, he asks the kid for his hat, because of the mask, and, the Wild Pussycat, the one with the telepath, says, "Where's Aerie? Where's Koda?" As Izuku thinks, and he goes, "Wait, where's Aerie?" As Momo's not there, as Carnage says, she's where Koda is. As Izuku just puts on the suit right away and just dashes forward. He's in Carnage mode. As everyone's in shock by this, spinners are like, "What the?" As, he's just dashing right through as fast as he can, just moving so quickly it's like a blur. Carnage and Deku are Deku's pushing his body to the limits along with Carnage helping. So, right on time before, like, when Muscular is about to smash his fist, Deku gets in and just grabs both Eri and Koda out of the way, and he puts them right on that near the wall instead of the edge this time. And Koda says, "That's the man who killed my parents." As he's in full carnage mode, but he takes on the mask and he goes, "Don't worry, he's gonna die then." And that endless void, Koda sees a darkness, but this one it's a calming comfort void. As he goes, "Thanks." Eri just says, "Papa, don't don't make it too well slow. Make it a quick one, please." As he looks at her and smiles and goes, "Of course, it will." I know I forgot about the hot springs. I know. Let's just say this one's a totally different. So yeah, the hot springs scene is gonna be totally different. So anyways, so Mushu was like, "Ha, where are you going to?" As then Izuku just makes a tendril that goes right into Muscular's head, and this is when Carnage makes him see hallucinations that are so intensified that he had a permanent brain death, automatically dead. And he goes, "There, see? He's dead. Quick and painless." As Eri says, "Thank you, Papa," he picks up both of them and leave. Momo is safe in this one. Same thing happens. She doesn't get hurt at all. Nothing too bad. Everything's going somewhere else. Bakugo does get captured. But it's gonna be like after Deku drops him off, he says now he's gonna go look for everyone else. Man, while Puskas says, "All right," he just looks at Aizawa. Aizawa says, "I got them. Don't worry." He goes, "Thanks," and he leaves. He catches up to Bakugo, but through Carnage's, going into his head, muscular head, he knows they're after Bakugo Katsuki. So, he goes to Bakugo. He basically says they're after you. He goes, "Then I'll just, find them and beat them up," and like he is in canon a little bit, acting like this. But then Deku says, "Yeah, and I'll be tracking you." He was like, "Right." So he says, just put whatever you have to do inside of me." That sounds so weird. Just tell me about it. As in, he puts a little bit of symbiote inside Bakugo. He goes, "There, that should be enough. Right, Carnage?" He goes, "I'll find out wherever he is and we can go grab him." So yeah. So basically, Deku and them leave. Tokiyami still, saved. Mr. Compressed still gets Bakugo. Tokiyami, same thing, all that goes down, but because that's what Deku wants and such. And so, what happens is, they get Tokiyami back. Bakugo gets captured. Davi says something even with Toga. Same thing happened. But, Toga did, see Deku in, an all-red suit with, black going on it. And she's like, "Blood?" Just get a little freaking weird thing she had now for Deku. She tries to go after Deku then too, but Deku just grabs her and just throws her right into the freaking portal. He goes, "And goodbye, crazy girl. I'm already, dating somebody." And she did not hear that, but still, not Momo, Toga just thinks like, "I got rejected." I feel like. So yeah, they basically ask what happened. Aizawa says, "Where's Bakugo?" Deku just says he got captured. "Don't worry, he's gonna be fine." I put a little bit of my suit inside of him, so he's perfectly fine. As he says, "Okay, how's the kids?" He just says nothing happened to them. No one, was after them at all. The League of Villains is not working for this. Whoever was taking, experimenting on her, he was good. Everyone else good? I'm like, he goes, "Yes." And then he goes, "Where are you going?" Because Deku's leaving. He goes like, "I'm gonna find Momo." As Momo comes walking out of the forest, as she's perfectly fine. He goes, "Who?" She just says, "How's Eri?" He says, "And there's a guy that's was gonna try and kill her, but I gave him a most horrific. Let's see. I broke his mind and I made him think he died the most painful way possible for when he tried to kill my precious little girl. As Momo just smiles and says, "Good," as Azawa thinks, "These two are dangerous if they're parents." And so, they leave. He goes over to Koda and Eri, comes over and hugs Deku. And then he picks her up and just starts carrying her. Carnage says, "I'm glad you're okay, little one." She says, "Thank you, Carnage." She says, "Thank you, Mr. Carnage, and Papa for helping, for saving us." He says it's no problem. So the police did come in. They took the villains and such, but then Deku does say like, "Hey, since we're gonna be going, how about we take, because everyone's basically probably tired and exhausted. Let's just go into the hot springs." And then so what happens is everything happens with Mineta, but when he gets because he cannot resist, he tried so hard. Deku saw this, so he did the exact same thing he did to Muscular, but he basically killed Mineta and changed his whole entire personality. Until where then he has more self-control over himself. So then he drops down to the ground and he says, "Thanks, Midoriya. Wow, feels so weird." He was like, "Yeah, I destroyed your personality, so basically who you were, and I remade it for Carnage. You're welcome." He's like, "I thought you were gonna kill me there." He goes, "I did. This is the new version of you. Be grateful." He goes, "Thanks. Anyways, I'm just gonna go away from the girl side." So yeah, so everyone heard that, and they just thinking it's not gonna last. Is it basically though after all that, Mineta called up when he got dressed, he called up his mom, saying, "Hey, you're gonna find this, this, and this. Throw it all away, please." She was like, "What is it?" He just tells her. She's like, "Mineta." He goes, "Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I tried to, have it, but that was just in case if I went back to my old ways. I didn't want to throw any of that stuff away." She goes, "Alright, fine. But when you're gonna be grounded." And he was like, "I know, don't worry, Mom." So yeah. So anyways, everyone gets back. Everyone goes home. And so Inko meets Eri. She's like, "Oh, because no one's really hurt that bad. Deku wasn't hurt that bad, neither was Momo, but she did tell them at the tracker. So yeah, I mean that does happen. But Inko meets Eri, and Eri asks, "Who is she, Papa?" He just says, and Deku just says, "This is my mother, your grandma. Your grandpa on my side. I don't know where he is." It's like he basically disappeared from the face of the earth, and we don't talk about him. She goes, "Oh, okay. I'm about Mama." She's, well, yeah. So he says, "Oh, well, we're gonna go visit them after we go pick her up." She goes, "Okay." So they spend some time with Inko, and then they go up to Momo. They go then to Momo's parents, and they get along, and basically they're Momo's mom says they do look like a happy family, and this makes both Midoriya and Deku and Momo blush a little bit. So yeah, and basically Deku said, texted All Might about, text Aizawa saying like he put a tracker on, um, well, on Bakugo, and he's gonna go save him in the next 3 days. So I can give you the location, but you'll be in my way. As he goes, "Problem child. You're not a pro. You never know what's gonna happen." He goes, "Fine, I give you the area location, but I get to come." He goes, "Deal." And so what happens is, when he goes back to UA, he goes to UA to give them where the location is for the villain attack. And they, he even confirmed it with Momo's tracker. And so they are planning the attack. So yeah, so everything like that goes to canon. And what happens is this. Everything goes similar. But when he's being surrounded, Bakugo, that part's different. When, everyone's trying to get him, Deku jumps in the full-on carnage suit, and basically with wings popping out, tendrils coming out and grabbing all the people and throwing them all to the side. Bakugo blasts off. Deku grabs him, takes the suit, the piece of the carnage suit out of him, and then chucks him over to where the hero is ready to catch him. And then he basically lands, and All For One is there, saying like, who are you, child? As Deku goes, I'm Carnage. And you? He goes, I am All For One. And that quirk you have, it'd be very pleasant to take. As he, he makes the, his quirk stealing tendrils, to go at Zuko as it hits him. And, he goes, now your suit and powers are mine. As all of a sudden he goes, wait, what? And Deku just kind of laughs at this. He goes like, you're a fool. All For One. As, All Might comes in and punches, All For One for Detroit Smash. As basically, All For One is thinking, how? How can I not take this boy's quirk? As All Might goes, you're Midori. He goes, Carnage, you need to get out of here. He goes, nah, I came here for one reason. Is to make sure this guy dies. How many people has he killed? How many people has he destroyed? Ruined? And All Might, how many quirks has he taken? As he goes, what are you gonna do? He goes, easy. I'll copy his quirk and take all of his own, but I infused them into mine. Suit. I don't know how much I'll take, but hey, better off if I have it so where I can destroy them instead of him having them. As All For One goes, and as All Might goes, are you mad? And he says a wee bit. He was like, of course you are. You're insane. Just don't get killed. As, he jumps out All For One, and he goes, what? He'll take my quirks? I'll have to kill him. As, he basically is distracted where All Might punches him. But, he gets sent flying. Then, All For One gets back, back to being in the position. Trying to look all menacing. He goes like, sorry, All Might, but you are not necessary for this. As, he basically smacks All Might away. He activates Kirigiri's quirk forcibly, and then he basically has everything happen the same. And Shigaraki goes, Master, let me help you. And he goes, no, I cannot allow you to die, because if you do, you'll, then, because let's just say, I think he did give Shigaraki the ability to still, no, wait, he doesn't give it, yeah, he gets it, I think, during the manga. I don't know when, but I think he gave it to him now, or he always had it, but he's just not ready. So yeah. Let's just say he didn't give the quirk yet, so it's gonna be like All For One will give the quirk through the void, where Shigaraki will get it somehow in some way. So yeah. So basically, Zuko runs forward, claws out. Momo's seeing it. She's just saying, "Oh no." And she's worrying. Inko's worrying. Eri's just going, "Don't worry, Papa will save him. Papa will defeat him, and probably kill him." But as Eri goes like, basically that's what Eri says. And Momo goes like, "Eri, when did you learn to say stuff like this?" And he goes, "Ever since Mr. Carnage went over me." he said he saw through my memories, and I learned knowledge from him too. And she goes, oh my god. So you have, teenager knowledge, huh? Mm-hmm. I have some knowledge of the world, so it's alright. As, Mama just pats her on the head and goes like, alright, just understand, your papa's not a bad person. He's just broken because of Boom Boom Boy. As Mama laughs at this, she goes, Boom Boom Boy's bad. As, they don't have the dorms yet, so yeah. But anyways, Izuku just running and he goes like, I'll kill you! He just jumps up into the air, all for one, grabs Izuku with the All Might killing arm, as, then he has a drill saying, and with his left arm, he made a drill, he was like, now you die. As when he actually hits Izuku in the Carnage suit, I mean, something happens that he didn't expect. The suit basically latches onto that, stopping the drill, and he goes, what the? As he goes, right where I want you. And then he just stabs All For One with the claws right into his gut, basically, and he goes, what's happening? As all of a sudden the suit starts to go around All For One, and he goes, this is where I copy and take your quirk. As he copies all for one ability to steal quirks. And then through this, when he takes out his claws, he goes, now, as Izuku basically in the symbiote, they just made tendrils to latch onto him, like actually go right onto his both his shoulders. That's the way how Carnage modified it, where the symbiote has to do this specific thing. It has to go one on each shoulder, then one on the head. As basically it does pierce through the mask, and All For One can feel every quirk he ever stolen is being taken. As Carnage is severing through them, he's destroying the ones that are not useful to him and Deku, and going with the ones that are useful, which is only about 3 to 5 out of thousands of quirks. As All For One feels every one that was being destroyed, he goes, how are you doing this? What are you? He goes, we are Carnage. As this, he basically takes his hand away, as All For One drops, basically falls to the ground with Izuku, out of his hand. He falls to the ground, and then he tries to use his quirks. He can't. Then he basically tries to take one for all. He can't. He's like, my quirk. What did you do? He goes, we destroyed it. We took it, erased it, and now because of you, we have a few more quirks that my suit has now. Thanks. Only 3. Electrocution shock. What was the other one that you'd find that was more fun? Hardening quirk. Basically, as the quirk, does harden the symbiote suit, which is pretty neat. As then he does say, oh, yeah, and not your own, but that's 4 technically. We only kept 3 out of the thousands. I need no healing quirk, but I read in mind quirk. So, thank you, All For One. This is a fate worse than death. Quirkless. Good luck. As the suit starts to morph back into his hero suit with the Spider-Man symbol on it. As All Might goes, did you really take everything from him? He goes, of course I did. This is worse than death for him. As All Might goes over to One For All and goes like, Your immortality is gone now. You'll not be able to live anymore. You are quirkless. I hope you have a good, life now. One for all. I mean, not one for all for one. As All Might leaves, as everyone's in shock, as Zuko jumps away, spins a web, and just leaves like that. Everyone's cheering, but they're all in shock. As reporters come in saying, All Might, was that a student at UA? And he says yes. His ability with his suit could copy quirks. The plan was that he would copy One for All. I mean, not One for All. He would copy All for One's quirk to steal other quirks. Use it to destroy then all the quirks he had. But he thought of something that was the most saddening thing for anyone to do. Is lose all your quirk and become quirkless. He may have the ability to copy quirks now, but he does have the ability to steal. But there are certain parameters that he needs to have to do it, like any other quirk. So, do not worry, he will not do it. He'll not use it to steal any quirk. It's his suit that has to have it on. That has to, be able to touch you in those 3 different areas as we saw. As they're going, as basically before saying, you hear it now, folks. The hero in training, Carnage, saved everyone that would have been in danger from this person. The number 1 villain now is no more. We have he lost everything, and now he is quirkless. And so Izuku basically swings back to his home. Because Momo's been staying at Inko's because of Zuko. They want to be together because of Eri. Raising her and such. So he basically gets home and he basically takes off the suit. He says, I'm back. His Momo runs over to him as soon as he opens up the door and hugs him. And saying, I'm glad you're alright. And did you really steal his quirks? He goes, yeah. I took All for One away. Copied it, took everything from him, and I'd even destroyed it too. No more. All for One's gone. She goes, so that means who's gonna be taking the place as number 1 villain? He goes, I don't know, and I don't care. Me and Carnage got this. We'll beat whoever it is, and we'll win. As Carnage just says, because we'll take his quirk then and use it. And then we'll get rid of it. As he goes, yeah. So, let's not give that to me, into my DNA. He goes, yeah, we don't want you to end up like Mr. All for One. Power hungry. Freaking egotistical maniacs. As Deku laughs at this, and he goes, yeah. So, Eri comes over, hugs Izuku, because he bent down and hugged her. She goes, I knew you'll win, Papa. And he just says, thank you, my little munchkin. And so, Inko goes, basically says, that was idiotic, stupid, dangerous, and risky. What happens if you would have gotten hurt? As Deku just says, me and Carnage would never have gotten hurt. Besides, it takes a lot more for that to kill me. It's like I'm unkillable. And Carnage does tell Inko, remember, we're technically almost indestructible. And she goes, I know, but still, that's very dangerous. He goes, Mom, if I become a hero, I'm going to have to be in dangerous situations. I'm not going to be able to be killed easily. I mean, basically, if there's any little bloodstream of me, I'll be able to come back to life, I think. So, yeah. She just sighs and just saying, you and Carnage are so much similar or not. I don't know who's more crazy, you or him. And then they both say the opposite. Carnage says Zuko, Zuko says Carnage, and then they just start arguing. And basically Momo just starts laughing about this. So yeah, hold on everyone. Alright, so the next day, teachers are coming in. I mean, All Might and Aizawa are coming in asking for parents' permission to have their kids with the dormitories. Inko says yes. And basically, Momo's parents said yes. And as long as Deku, has a room, like Momo just says, as long as, she has a room nearby, Zuko's, because Aries going to be mostly staying with him. Because she's not going to leave his side at all. Unless he's doing schoolwork or hero work. So yeah, as Aizawa says, all right, we already talked to him, and he says exactly the same thing. So basically, we're just saying since you two are technically kind of gonna adopt the kid already, as the adoption agency is coming over at the dorms then tomorrow, and checking you guys out. As all right, so yeah. Momo texts Suzuka about that. He says he knows. So yeah. So anyways, when the dorms are told, everything's goes similar. Everyone goes check out everyone's room. Everyone goes to Zuko's room as it is. Well, Zuko and slash Momo's room, and it is very different from what Bakugo saw as a kid. He goes, "Well, you really did not have nothing." And Zuko just says it was not. I had a lot of all my stuff, but I got rid of it all as soon as I snapped back to my old self. And so I've been collecting things that I thought would be more me. As they're our mask, there's a few masks, drawings, art books too. Baku goes, wait, you've been learning how to do art? It was, yes, peaceful. I mean, I even can sing a few things. I've been also learning how to do the guitar at least. As Jiro goes, wait, what? He goes, yeah, is that a problem? She goes, no, that's amazing. He was like, thanks. And basically, how can I say this? Eri and Momo just saying, why you never told us? He goes like, because no one ever asked. She says, I'm your girlfriend, you should have said something. I would have asked you to play me something, then Momo says. And he was like, alright. How about I do that tonight? She goes, great. So, even Eri's happy because she thinks she's gonna have bedtime. A song before bed, which she is. So yeah, so then after everyone goes see it, everyone's surprised about Minetta's room. It was very plain and more of a him learning how to do boxing and studying and all that, which was shocking to everyone. And so what happens is, though, in the afternoon, the adoption agency person comes over and saying she checked out both sides of Momo and Deku, and she is concerned about with Deku's medical history, which he just says, yeah, I figured that's gonna be a problem. But look here, it's not my fault I went, She goes, I know. You did get the necessary help right away. You did then somehow made a personality to take your place, and then you snapped and you were bullied, so you fought back against them. You were not in trouble. Because you technically heard the rumor about you stabbed a guy with a pencil through the hand. He goes, yeah, that was, the angry Pomeranian that's behind us. As he goes, hey, I'm not an angry Pomeranian, you freaking nerd. As she goes, I see. And so technically my quirk is very good because of, as he explains about it. And she goes, yeah, I know. I read who you are too. Your suit allows you to copy people's quirks after injecting some blood or just in general, if you want to, at least small amount of blood. You can copy someone's quirk, and now you have the ability to steal quirks, but it has a specific thing. May I ask you how? He goes, alright, so he just explains how he has to have it on 3 different points of the body. Both shoulders has to be touched by one tendril, as then one has to be touching on your forehead, right in the center of it. If it's any part on your forehead, basically, and if it's not touching, if it's just by my bare hand, it won't work. It has to be tendrils. So it is gonna have to be up close and personal. So yeah, She goes, alright. Mr. Rizal, I mean, your teacher, Razorhead, would have been a good person too, to be with Eri. But I mean, since I did talk to him about it. He did say you took in some of his blood, and now it has to be with both arms. It had to be, tendril around. It would, cancel out quirks. As Deku goes, yeah, I figured out a better solution because of Eri. Because, little Eri here. It would be a bracelet around her arm, but the suit will be actually going into her bloodstream and regulating the quirk. So now, and basically then we also had it where the suit covered her for 5 minutes and it changed everything, so now she has control over her quirk. So, yeah. And she goes, oh, well, it seems like you are, taking very good care of her. He goes, yeah, even though who I am. And he, kind of looks a little bit upset by that. And this one can already tell that these two, people, teenagers, look like a good couple, and they're ready for the responsibility, but they seem like they're gonna try to work on it. So she goes, alright, just sign these papers. And so Momo and Deku sign it, and then, well, it's official, Eri their kid. Momo does ask Izuku, my parents did talk about me with the engagement. They said we don't need a ring. So, as long as you ask me. And, basically the adoption agency person would be like, oh, you two aren't, I mean, you guys are young, but you guys aren't, like, your boyfriend and girlfriend, right? He goes, yeah. Also, we were talking about being engaged before, the hero attack and then all for one and all that. And so, yeah, I mean, you really want to, Momo? She goes, mm-hmm. And so, yes, it's, official. I'll just have to find a ring or buy it. Momo says, I already got one. And he goes, well, aren't you good? I mean, well, girl knows what she wants, so, he goes, alright. He just asks her right then and there. And she goes, yes. And, she puts the ring on. In which, he says, I'll buy you one myself when I can, alright? She goes, you don't have to, this is good enough. And so, Eri's happy. And yeah, Aizawa saw it, he took a, he basically just had tears of joy. He goes, I'm proud of you, problem child. He doesn't say the drama, but, this is a very good moment. And so, yes. So after the adoption Asian, person leaves, Aizawa goes, congratulations for the both of you for being parents and engaged. Momo says thank you. Izuku calls with his mom, tells her what happened, and now she has a granddaughter. Even Momo says it, and about the whole entire thing. So they just said, whenever you guys are ready, just get married. Just plan out the wedding. That's the only thing Momo's mom says. So, yeah, basically, Izuku does ask Aizawa, saying, like, since I took down the #1 villain, does that mean I'm gonna be, like, getting, like, a medal or something? I mean, I was given technically the permission to go into the fight, because I was there for the raid. And Aizawa goes, like, yes. So, I mean, you're basically our student, but your suit was the key factor to the win. All Might did not want to admit that, but, I mean, that's why we let you come to the fight. So, technically, you do have a hero license. I'm not gonna lie, kid. You technically do have a hero license. It's just not on paper yet. You're officially a hero, and you already made your spot in the 100th mark. And Izuku, just in shock, goes, well, I get paid! Because I'm technically gonna need to find a place to live after this. It was like, yeah, I mean, you're gonna get a check-in, so don't worry. And Izuku goes, alright. He, checks his in the polls, as he's in the 100th spot, which was a lie, because he's in the 90th spot for 90th place. Carnage, aka Zuka Midoriya. He's like, I'm the 90th hero. Cool. I was, glad for him and such. And yeah. So, that's where it's gonna end it off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm basically gonna find a picture, make a thumbnail, post it, and, well, I'm gonna be going to bed probably around 3 or 2 something. So, bye everyone. Have a nice night, day, whatever you want. Bye.